So today we're gonna work on this though, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Chicken.
Chicken brooder.
Mm-hmm.
Says it holds up to 20 chicks. It's got its own infrared heater.
And it can go upstairs and downstairs.
I think they're just stackable. So this where'd we get this?
I don't know.
Tractor Supply.
Oh.
So I think this is their brand, Producer's Pride. We already unboxed it. All of the stuff's labeled nice. There's the heater. We're gonna get it set up over here in the corner. And that's where the chicks, that's where the chicks will go.
And these are the food and water.
That's where the food and water goes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I wasn't even recording the whole time. So I lost the directions somehow between unboxing it and starting to put it together. It's pretty straightforward how these go together. So you've got the sides, these pieces here, which are labeled number 1, both of them. Number 3s go on the top, number 2s go on the bottom here. You need the slots to the outside for these end pieces, and then the other slots go to the inside for these pieces. And so far that's all we've gotten to. Phillips screwdriver, 12mm wrench to tighten the little door locks in. And it looks like that might be all we end up needing for tools, because everything else is carriage heads and wing nuts. So I'll get a little update at the end when we get done putting it together. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm not sure how I'm going to fit this all together in this video at this point, because I started kind of doing a video about it, and it's the Producer's Pride Complete Chick Care Brooder or whatever. It's got a heat sink in it of some sort compared to normal, which would be like a heat lamp, and I'm assuming it's a lot safer. I'll probably find out the hard way. It'll burn the garage down or something, but you know, thanks China. Anyways, it's not bad. It's pretty hefty, so I like that about it. I haven't really figured out, and honestly I lost the directions, so I kind of just put it together with what I thought was right based off from the pictures. I ended up with some leftover hardware, so I'm guessing that over time I'll either figure out where that belongs, or you know, maybe the engineer just threw in some extra parts to keep me confused. I also haven't figured out exactly what to do with these flaps here. They slide up and down based on, I'm trying to put the camera in there so you can see better. They slide up and down because they're slotted, but I don't know if one side you're supposed to take these little trays off so that they'll slide down further, and one side's for food and one side's for water, and if you just don't need one on one side but you need it on the other. I don't really know. I'll probably just figure it out once we have chickens in here and it's doing its thing. I do like, this seems like whatever plastic they made it out of is going to be nice and soft on the chick's feet versus like legit wire. It should hold up just fine, and I'd imagine it's like power washable. The tray seems pretty good. It's pretty robust. Same thing. We'll probably just throw some shavings in there and see if that works. I don't really want to deal with, you know, wax paper with chicken stuff on it. And I think that this size is going to work pretty good for us. I almost thought I wanted it a little bit bigger, but this will take, it says on the box it'll take 20 chicks. Both of our incubators hold, I think, about 22 or 24 eggs, depending on one versus the other. And I can do a review on those. We've run them a couple seasons now, and both of them seem to work pretty good. And I've got it down to a science on them on how to get them to run and have good results. So I'd say last year we probably hatched a couple hundred chicks, and at one point in the summer we had, I don't know, probably 100 chickens running around. It was ridiculous. So anyways, I think this is gonna work out good, because the load of chicks that comes out of the incubator is the same amount that this has capacity for. So that should work well. I don't think we're going to go too crazy hatching chicks this year unless we get somebody that wants some. We're going to modify our flock a little bit and kind of gear towards it being a little bit more all Americanas, essentially, so that we get all the colored eggs, and then we have a more purebred chicken that if people want to buy chicks from us, we can say they're Americanas without, you know, them maybe getting a brown egg layer here or there. So, I mean, they're not going to be like full-blown Americanas, but people don't necessarily care about that nearly as much as they just want the green and blue eggs. So that's pretty much the direction we're going in. And so tuned in, stay, you know, pay attention, and once I have some chicks living in this, it's probably like a month or so from now, I'll do some updates. Maybe I'll figure out where the spare hardware goes. This seems pretty convenient, really, as far as how it works. I don't know. I'm guessing there's a couple of screw holes in this top piece. But there's nothing underneath to screw to, because they fall on these corners. However, there are these pieces, which I'm not entirely sure. We may be able to take these off and they go around. I know that this is supposed to be able to make it so you can stack another unit on top of it, and that would make sense, I guess, those little brackets. I figured I didn't need them because I'm not planning on putting another unit on top, but maybe I do because that's what secures this, or I can just put some sheet metal screws in it. We'll see. Alright, so that's pretty much it for that video. Pretty straightforward. Let me recap real quick how I put it together. Ones are these end pieces. Cross members that go from one side to the other. So this piece here, these pieces down here. These top ones are the number 3s. These bottom ones are the number 2s. You orient them so that these slides are the outside here. And then the number 2s go in such a way that they support this chicken drop-in tray. And then these side panels just slide in once you get that stuff put together, and they don't slide out because these stay closed. These just hook in. These little cage things set down in, and then you can put these slide barriers on, which I'm sure is supposed to regulate feed. And eventually I'll figure out where the rest of this hardware goes. As far as tools go, it was literally just a Phillips screwdriver, and then I snugged these in with a 12mm. So that was pretty straightforward. And I'll let you know, in like I said, in probably like a month or so, what I think about it in operation. But so far, it looks pretty robust. I think it's going to work well for what I need it to do. I feel like it was kind of a lot of money in terms of, you know, it's a $200 item that you're raising 20 chicks in, and you can get away with essentially a cardboard box and a $15 light. But it's also a lot nicer, and hopefully it will keep things cleaner, because last year I had like a 4 foot by 4 foot by 4, you know, like a square 4 foot by I think 18 inches tall, with a couple of the red lights in it and just shavings on the floor. And it worked okay when the chicks were small, but then we ended up getting some meat birds at one point, and they make enough chicken manure that you really couldn't clean it well, and it made a mess, and there was dust everywhere in the garage from them. And so this, I'm hoping, will work out a lot better. And we're not going to be raising as many chickens, so it shouldn't be a big deal that this has less capacity than that previous setup I had. So stay tuned for more updates on this, but so far I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, I think you're getting your money's worth. As far as $200 is $200 worth of craftiness here, no doubt. However, it is a lot of purchase for just a hobby size. You know, you're not gonna be Murray McMurray with this thing either. So, anyways, that's gonna be the end. Like and subscribe.